So let's look at Foundation Single Crochet. This is a technique that lets you create your starting chain and your first row of stitches, your single crochet, in one go. It's neater, it's more flexible, and much easier to count than your traditional chain and then do a single crochet row method. In this tutorial, I'll show you how it works, and then we can compare it to the traditional foundation chain so you can decide which method suits best for your projects. Let's get going. I've done a slip knot, and now I'm going to chain 2. 1 and 2. Keep them fairly loose, not too tight. Now we're going to turn our work over, and you're going to look for the back bumps on the back of the chain. You can see them there. We're going to insert our hook into the first or the second one from the chain, the first back bump of your row, and then pull through a loop from your working yarn, and then yarn over and pull through your first chain on your hook, or your first loop on your hook. That creates your actual chain, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook to complete your single crochet. And we're just going to repeat this process the whole way along. So you'll turn your work over and look for that V. If you can see the V there, that's where we're going to be inserting our hook under that V. So turn over and just look for where to insert it, inserting your hook under that V, and then pull through your loop, yarn over, pull through that first loop on your hook to create a chain, and then yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on your hook to finish the single crochet. So what we're doing is creating a chain and a single crochet as we go along. So turn your work towards you, look for the V, you insert your hook underneath that V, yarn over and pull through your working yarn to put a loop on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first loop to create the chain, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook to finish the single crochet. There we can see it starting to form. Okay, we're looking for our V again. There we go. They begin to get a little bit easier to see as it grows, the piece grows. So we're inserting our hook under the V. We're going to pull up a loop from your working yarn, yarn over, pull through the first loop on your hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. I'm just going to keep going slowly. You can follow along with me, always turning over to look for those V's that are forming, and making sure to insert your hook just under the V. It's easy to get into the wrong place in the beginning, so just take care that you get your hook in the right place. Pull through your first loop and then yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, creating the chain and then the single crochet on top of that. Under the V, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through your first loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I just love the way this looks. It's really handy instead of chaining a whole long lot of chains and then having to keep count and then turn and come back and do single crochets on top of that. This is much simpler, I think, especially for blanket projects or really anything that you need to do a long chain for. I did find that getting used to this way of doing a foundation for a project, it does take a bit of practice. It's not that it's complicated, but it does take a little bit of getting used to, and once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite easy, and you can do it quite quickly, but it did take a little bit of focus and practice to get started. A tip that I found quite helpful is to try and keep your work a little bit loose. If you keep your tension a bit too tight, it's going to be difficult to find those V stitches to work into. Oops, so here I've actually gone into the wrong place. I went too deep into the stitch, so just you need to put your hook and make sure it's just under the V, and then do your chain, and then complete the single crochet by pulling through the last 2 loops. You can see so far it looks nice and stretchy. We have simultaneously created the starting chain as well as the single crochets, and it's a really handy way of doing a foundation for a project. I'm comparing it here to a traditional starting chain and then a single crochet done when you come back the other way, just so you can see this is quite stretchy, our foundation chain single crochet, and then the traditional starting chain, and then single crochet on top of that. It's got a bit less give. I like the stretchiness that it gives me there. I hope this tutorial was helpful. I look forward to seeing you again in my next one.